Hello team, very good afternoon. We are moving into this Salesforce. Now we need to understand what is Salesforce. Salesforce is a cloud-based business application that helps organization stay connected to their customer. Salesforce can be very useful in lead generation, improving sales, deal closures, marketing domain, customer service, analytics, etc. With Salesforce, you can develop apps and maintain an app ecosystem. Okay, when you come across this CRM, Salesforce is basically a virtual CRM to hold customers end-to-end information that can be accessed by everyone with specific permissions. Apps can be easily built even without coding. So virtual CRM is to hold customers end-to-end information that can be accessed by everyone with specific permissions. Apps can be easily built even without coding. The app ecosystem provides billions of installed apps that can be sold to customers. Salesforce is the world's best CRM platform that enables organizations to sell, service, and market their products and services. Okay, this is about Salesforce CRM. Okay, next we'll come to various Salesforce cloud. So when you come across this Salesforce, the cloud service that are offered by Salesforce, as I told you, virtual CRM. What does that mean by virtual CRM? You no need to develop the applications. Salesforce has developed software as a service as a CRM, SaaS, software as a service. That is nothing but the sales. We have Salesforce, we are using software as a service as a CRM. So apart from this Salesforce, the Salesforce provides Sales Cloud, Marketing Cloud, Service Cloud, and we have Community Cloud, Analytics Cloud, and the Commerce Cloud. Let me discuss each one in detail. So when I'm talking about this Sales Cloud, the Sales Cloud in a CRM is a CRM platform that enables you to manage your organization's sales, marketing, and customer support facets. If your company is engaged in B2B, that is business to business, and B2C, business to consumer, then Sales Cloud is the service your sales team needs. Next comes your Salesforce Marketing Cloud. The Marketing Cloud provides you with one of the world's most powerful digital marketing platform. The marketers in your organization can use it to manage customer journey, email, mobile, social media, web personalizations, content creations, content management, and data analytics. Everything is managed in the cloud marketing. Okay. Next comes your Salesforce Service Cloud. The Service Cloud is a service platform for your organization, customers, service, and support team. It provides features like case tracking and social networking, plugin for conversation and analytics. This not only helps your agent to solve customer problems faster, but also gives you customer access to answers. Gives your customers access to answers. Using this answers, your customer can solve problems on their own. Next comes your Salesforce Community Cloud. If you need a social platform for your organization to connect and facilitate communication among your employees, partners, and customers, then Salesforce Community Cloud is the service you need. You can use this platform to exchange data and images in real time. Next comes your Salesforce Commerce Cloud, or you can say App Cloud. We'll discuss on the App Cloud. Before discussing on the App Cloud, we'll discuss on the Analytics Cloud. The Analytics Cloud provides a business intelligence platform for your organization to work with large data files, create graphs, chart, and other pictorial representation of data. It is optimized for mobile access and data visualization and can be integrated with other Salesforce clouds. Salesforce App Cloud. To develop custom apps that will run on the Salesforce platform, you can use the Salesforce App Cloud. It provides you with a collection of development tools that you can utilize to create custom applications. So when you come across this app cloud, we have force.com. If you come across this app cloud, we have something called as an force.com, and we have App Exchange, Heroku, and Salesforce Sandbox. Let us highlight that in detail. Force.com allows admins and developers to create websites and applications into the main Salesforce.com applications. App Exchange is an online application marketplace for third-party applications that run on the Force.com platform. That means Salesforce provide you both SaaS and PaaS service. Software as a service, that is nothing but the CRM. If you required anything related to the customization, then you'll use platform as a service, that is Force.com. And in terms of integration, you'll use Heroku. Enterprise gives developer the flexibility to create apps using their preferred languages and tools. Not only the Salesforce language, that is where we'll use Apex programming language. Apart from this, you can integrate with your Node.js or Java-based application with the Heroku platform. And the last one is your App Exchange, where is an online application marketplace for third-party application that run on the Force.com platform. Okay, this is all about your app cloud. And the last one is Salesforce Sandbox, allows the developer to test ideas in a safe and isolated development environment. So this is all about your app cloud. Now we are coming to your Salesforce Lightning. What is Salesforce Lightning? Salesforce Lightning is a platform that provides tools to build next generation UI and UX in Salesforce. Salesforce Lightning helps organization creates a modern productivity boosting user experience. So in order to get in much more detail, let me make you understand. The term lightning refers to real lightning, one that comes from storms, which indicates the power of this tool. Lightning experience is used to create a fast, beautiful, and unique user experience so that sales teams and sales representative can sell faster and be more focused on what's more important. Lightning experience uses the open source Aura framework. However, it has a completely redesigned framework that creates a modern user interfaces. So when you look into your classic, okay, when you log into your Salesforce, now let me log into your login.salesforce.com. Let me log into your developer edition. Say this is your classic. Okay, this is a Salesforce classic. Now, if I want to switch from classic to lightning, okay, I have the recruitment app, student app and all. Let me switch to lightning experience. Can you see the UI, how it got changed? Now, whatever this app is there, you can see this is how the UI will look like. The UI got completely changed. In order to have uniform look and feel, if you have your mobile and if you install Salesforce 1, either if you're using app stores and play stores, you'll be getting an app where you can install that app, and if you check, your UI will be similar to the same look and feel. Okay, that is where the Salesforce Lightning came into the picture. In order to have uniform look and feel both in the desktop and in the mobile devices, whether you're connected to your mobile, whether you're connected to the tablet, and similar, in order to have similar UI on the desktop, that's where the Lightning features came into the picture. Okay, so this is about your Lightning experience. So when you are trying to click on this any one of the records, now let us say if I click on view all, you can see this recruitment app, and whatever you're able to see, let me open in your Lightning classic. Okay, this is your recruitment. Similarly, if I want to look it in the Lightning, sorry, in the classic view, can you see this, the same position? Can you see full stack web development? You can see this is how the UI. Now, if I switch to your Lightning. Let us say the same position where I look here, full stack web development. Can you see the UI? It is completely different compared to your classic and Lightning. This is what your Lightning experience is all about. This is called Salesforce Lightning Experience Interface. You can see the whole interface has changed. Salesforce Lightning provides a modern user experience across every device and also provides various tools that help to build, update new applications with Lightning App Builder and Lightning Component. Okay, so now we need to understand what is Lightning Component. A Lightning Component is a UI framework to develop dynamic web applications for mobile and desktop based. Okay, so when you are trying to develop this Lightning features, Lightning Component is a UI framework to develop dynamic web application and mobile devices. Now if you want to switch to here, you can see this is the developer console. Okay, so this is the coding part of your application. Now if you want to develop the component, you can see here Lightning application and Lightning component. Okay, later part I'll come back and discuss about this what this Lightning component and all. So now we have this Lightning component, which is a UI framework to develop dynamic web applications for mobiles and desktop. It uses JavaScript at the client side and Apex at the server side to create single page web applications. This framework is a collection of code where you can create a Salesforce application without writing codes. Lightning component consists of an event-driven architecture that has made it easy to build many applications. Let us say if I want to develop a weather applications. Okay, so in order to develop the weather applications, I can come back to your file. You can see here new Lightning application where you can see the name. I can give it as weather app. Okay, let me click on this submit. You can see this is the Aura applications where I can use, let us say NS. I can say my 𝐴𝐵𝐶 maplet. I can say 𝐴𝐵𝐶 maplet where I can give the longitude, like I can specify. Instead of having this, I'll try to create one calculator app and I can demonstrate the same. Okay. So important features of Lightning component is that you have an applications where you can see the application will have a separate controller which will be written on the client side by using a controller that is JavaScript framework. Okay, the whatever I'm discussing, it is a single page application, that is a standalone applications. That is where we are learning Aura framework. And similarly, if you are trying to develop single page application, that is a SPA, where you will use LWC application. Now we are more focused on single page application, that is Aura based framework. So we'll come back to the hands-on later part. So important features of Salesforce is that, as mentioned earlier, the Lightning component can be used to create single page applications. So with the help of this, Lightning component is used by Salesforce to deal with client side. For the server side, Salesforce relies on Apex programming. So when you come across this Lightning component is used by Salesforce to deal with the client server. We also have Lightning event handler. Salesforce Lightning component is built based on event-driven architecture. Here, user interface events are driven by a user interacting with the UI. It assists handler to write handler codes to handle UI events. When you come across this Lightning component, the Lightning component contains a number of related resources that can work together. You can build personalized app with the Lightning App Builder. That is, you can develop apps in the way you want to increase the sale. You can use Lightning component anywhere at any time, even when you're offline. That is the beauty of your Lightning applications. Okay, so I'm giving something which is beyond the slides. Lightning component is built on the open source Aura framework. Okay, now we need to understand why we need to use Lightning component framework. Why should you use Lightning component? The main benefits of Lightning component is that one is that it has the out of the box component. What is meant by out of the box component? The Lightning component framework has more than 175 features that helps in many ways which Salesforce Classic lacks. Rich component ecosystem. You can use the already available components in Salesforce through Salesforce Lightning. Faster performance. Suppose if you want some data, then it will send only the necessary data to you to increase efficiency. Event-driven architecture. It provides event handlers to handle events. Developing the application in Lightning, it's faster. So when I say open source Aura framework, generally with the open source Aura framework, you can build apps regardless of what data you have, either structured or unstructured data. In Salesforce, in other words, you have everything to develop an app and build a UI without having to know technical coding. The Aura namespace contains components to simplify your app logic. The UI namespace contains component for the user interface, and the Force namespace contains component for Salesforce. And whatever you are developing this Lightning, it is all supported to the latest browser which is there in the market. Even with the Lightning, you can have Outlook integration web, Outlook integration client, and Salesforce console in Lightning experience. All these particular features are being supported. So now if you are developing using a developer console, using Salesforce developer, it provides tools and components to develop your application. Now when you come across this Salesforce, you can see the tools. Salesforce development, it provides tokens. What is this? This is called as a token. This is called as an interface, and this is called as an application. And also if you want to see, you have SVG. You can also have, when you have component, where I'll show you that component and controller, where you can understand on the same. Okay, now let us develop one simple application where you can have an app followed with the text. Now let me have one Salesforce, that is, let me have a new Lightning application. I try to give it as calculator app. Let me click on this submit. Okay, app. Now in order to have this app, you need to call the component, where I try to call c.calculator, and I try to provide num1 equal to 100. Num1 equal to 100 and number 2 equal to 200. Or let us say I try to give 50. Okay. Suppose if you doesn't want this ending, you can close this. Okay. Now this is the app. Now in order to have component, okay, an app can have multiple components. Let us have new Lightning component. Let us say component. Okay, I'll tell you about these details in later part. Let me click on this submit. Okay, when you have this component, you will try to have, you need to define an attribute. Attribute is nothing but the variables, like let us say name equal to num1, and you need to specify the data type. Let me give it as an integer, and I'll try to give default. If the end user doesn't give any value, default equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, I can have num2 also the same, which is of integer default. And also I'll have one more variable, like let us say the result. So I'm trying to perform arithmetical operation like integer division and all. Let me have double, and let us not have default. Okay, now I need to have image. Let us say I'll have an image src. In order to have this image, since this image will be present outside the Salesforce, I try to provide it within the double quotes, like I'll try to provide, which will be present under resource. I think it got closed. Okay. Okay, let me call this again. Our attribute name. Let me give it as num1. Let us have the type, that is nothing but your data type, which will be of integer. And default, that is, which will be of 0. Where you'll have num2 and you'll have the result. Okay, let me save this file. Let it be of double. And let me remove this. Now you have this component. Let me open your calculator app. If I try to open this calculator app, where I'm trying to call this component, that is 𝐶:Calculator, where I'm trying to give num1 equal to 100. This is the value which I'm passing, num2 equal to 50. You can see component will have a different structure. Okay, if I click on this preview button, you can see this is how the UI will look. Okay, still have not designed the page. Now in this page, if I come back, okay, calculator, okay, it is, yeah. If I click on this preview, this is the UI. Let me have certain division class. I try to have something called as an my border. Okay, where my page my border And here you'll have IMG SRC, where you can have curly parenthesis, negation symbol, you can have expression language, and I'm using $2 for global resource. I'm trying to give resource dot calculator. That means I need to add an image to this page. Now, in order to have this image, let me go to your browser, and if you type calculator, so now let me choose the images. Okay, let me add any one of the image. Let me save image as, let me save it as R. The image should not be not more than, 1.1. Okay, it should not be more than 20 KB. Let me have this. Okay, if I have this OIP1, okay, it should not be more than 20 KB. That is the main thumb rule. So if I come to here, if I click on the setup, and if you type static resources, under static resources, you can create new image. Let me have the file calculator, and here I'll choose the file which is present in the desktop, OIP1, and let it be public. Click on save. Once the image is there, this is the image which will be appeared right now. So when I click on refresh button, click on this edit. This is the name of the file, calculator, and I have chosen this file. Okay, let me save this file. And if I click on this update preview, okay. So now we have this calculator. Now we'll have certain buttons regarding the same. In order to have this button, we'll be using lightning colon text boxes, input name, where I'll try to give FN, label equal to first name, first number, and you'll have, in order to have themes, we'll have CSS, where I'll try to provide, that is the value, whatever the value which you are giving from the controller. In order to read that value, you'll be using an expression v.num1. And similarly, you'll have a class. I try to provide a CSS, that is my style. Similarly, I can have one more number, that is first number, where I can have ln, that is last number, and let this value be num2, and I'm trying to provide this my style. So when I try to save this file, and if I try to refresh, can you see this image? Now you can see this particular page is not having good UI, correct? So in order to have a good UI, let me click on this. In order to beautify this UI page, I click on this app, and I'll give extends equal to force colon SLDS. Okay, if I try to save this file and if I move to this page after applying this aura, can you see the difference? Let me refresh this page. Can you see the themes? It got changed, the first number and last number. If I try to remove this file, so if I try to remove this file, let me refresh this page. It is not having significant effect, but okay, let me show you here. See, like this, first number, it is looking here. But once I apply the theme, okay, before saving this, see the UI. Now after saving the file, you can see the changes. Can you see the themes is looking pretty different? That is nothing but the package force colon SLDS. So similarly, now if in order to create a button for this page, now before creating the button, let us see whether this operation is taking place. In order to have this, we'll have v1.num1 plus v2 v.num2. Let me check whatever the value which are given before I give multiplication and the division. If I try to save the file and if I click on this calculator app, click on this preview, are you able to see 100 plus 50, 150, 100 minus 50, it is 150. Okay, if you want to see it in the next every page, you can give this BR tag. Where you can see 150, 50, 100 into 50 is 5000, 100 divided by 50 is 2. That means before creating the button, I am able to generate this value. So now I try to comment this. How to comment this? Now, whatever the result which it has to display, it has to be displayed in here div class where I can have my result. I can specify. So whatever the result, I can print it here. Result is. I can provide, and here I can give the curly parenthesis, that is v dot result. That is which it is coming from the controller I have created here. So in order to create this controller, we need to have a separate buttons for that. So in order to create a button, I try to have lightning colon button where I try to have label equal to addition. Similarly, if in order to have icon name, where I can find this icon name is you can go to here, Salesforce SLDS. If I try to have icons, this is the official site where you can find the icons. Okay, when you come under utilities, you can see this one. Now if you want to have utility.add, like plus, I can use for subtraction, you can use dash symbol, similarly like that and all. So similarly, I'll use that same symbol, icon name equal to, where I can provide utility colon add. Okay, variant equal to, I can give, you'll have the various brand. This is the icon name, and you can use Salesforce brand. So if you come across this Lightning brand, which is the open source library, here you will find the Lightning brand. So you can see this is the brand name, this is the success, this is the destructive, and all. So similarly, in our program also, you can use the same thing, like brand, you can specify. Now, if the user click on the submit button, that is, I try to have on click, here you can specify where I can provide curly parenthesis, I can give c.add. This is the function which I'll be invoke here. What is this function? When the user click on the submit button or the add button, this particular function or the event needs to get invoked. Like let us similarly, I can have addition, multiplication, and division. I can have subtraction, multiplication, and similarly I can have division. Okay, you can add utility add. Then for subtraction, I can use dash, and multiplication, I can use close. And for the division, I can give utility.division. Suppose if the symbol is not there, you can provide this. Now for subtraction, I can use the variant called destructive. And for the multiplication, I can use the brand called inverse. And for the division, I can use the success. Let me use the success. Let me have SUB, MUL, LT, DIV, division. So now let us see this. If I come back to your code and if I click on this aura, let me refresh this page. Can you see this addition, plus symbol, minus, multiplication, and division? So now you are able to develop this UI pages with the help of Salesforce. Understand? Similarly, if you want to have the functionality where the component will have controller, where you can press Ctrl Shift 2 in order to have this, the action will be the name of the component. What is the action? That is add. I can click on this component and I can choose this component. Function component event helper. Here you can read whatever the name values are there. You can use var num1 and you can provide, that is component dot get whatever the values which is filled in the text box. You can get it here, v dot num1. v dot num2, whatever the variable which you have set, that variable you can retrieve here. And depending on this, I can use pass int, because in JavaScript, if you try to add one number with another number, instead of addition, it will be taken concatenation. Concatenation means joining of two string. Like I can store it in num2. So this variable, I can store it in result. Once the result is populated, then I need to display that value on the component, that is result. That is where I am trying to say component dot set, which will be taken key value pair, that is v dot result. This is the key and this is the value for that. Okay. So similarly, if I am trying to perform for subtraction, I can copy the same and I can paste it here. So now you can try to see subtraction, multiplication, MULT, and for this one as division. So in the multiplication, you are trying to print only for addition you require this, like I can subtract num1 minus num2. And here for multiplication, I can perform asterisk symbol. And similarly for the third, you can perform the same division. That's it. So now we have this app, and if you click on this update preview, okay. So now if I click on addition, you can see 150, subtraction 50, and if I click multiplication, and you are able to see the division. So fine. Understood the concept of this one, lightning, how we are able to create the application and pages. So this was the thing which was there in the Salesforce Lightning. Okay, that's all today. Anyway, thank you all for taking